widely praised Rochester Charter School is denying it has connections to a controversial Turkish movement.
Rochester Academy is one of 4 upstate New York schools which Turkish representatives list as having ties to exiled cleric Fethullah Gulen. Tonight, a News 10 NBC investigation reveals an international push to expose the schools. Charles Molyneux also uncovered some business dealings that have raised questions.
Now, advocates say this is not an official, formal organization or company, but rather a network of individuals who work together, move between business and education, and routinely deny any involvement in Turkey's Gulen movement.
I enjoy it here. The teachers really try to work with you.
For students like Eduardo Colon, the Rochester Academy has been a valuable alternative to conventional public school. The academy boasts a 94% graduation rate.
With such a small group, it's more like one-on-one time with the teachers.
But critics connect Rochester Academy, a taxpayer-funded public school, to a national group of schools run by followers of controversial Turkish cleric Fethullah Gulen, who's accused of orchestrating last year's violent coup attempt in Turkey.
These charter schools are actually not being run by the community. They're being run by a cadre of Turkish teachers and administrators who report to a central regional imam who report back to Mr. Gulen.
International law firm Amsterdam and Partners works for the Turkish government and says its research identifies 4 New York charter schools connected to the Gulen movement. Amsterdam claims charter schools, like Rochester Academy, are one part of a Gulen movement network in America that includes cultural associations, like Fethullah Gulen's Alliance for Shared Values in New York City and the Turkish Cultural Center and Peace Islands Institute, both on Dewey Avenue in Rochester. Rochester Academy Board Chairman Mahmoud Gedemenli insists the school is autonomous.
This school is governed by 7 independent board members, and we, many times we talk about this, but I'm not sure, and there is no place that this school is affiliated with any of those Gulen movement.
I believe it would be very difficult to believe that they are not part of the Gulen movement.
Ersin Erman, president of the Turkish Society of Rochester, says many local Turks keep their distance from Gulen, alarmed by what they call a political and religious agenda behind schools like Rochester Academy.
These schools are being created with taxpayer money, and what the long-term goal, what the long-term purpose is, with Gulen members acting as educators and administrators in those schools.
The Turkish government's lawyers also claim the Gulen network gets support from teachers who are individual Gulen followers.
We came here to serve the people.
Like teacher Ersin Kanker, who says he joined the movement in Turkey as a teenager and taught at Gulen schools in Texas and at the Utica Academy of Science. Conker kept checks, receipts, and contracts that he says show how he was expected to redirect thousands of dollars of his state-paid salary to the Gulen movement.
You have a salary on the paper in the contract, but this is not your Gulen movement salary.
2 sets of books.
Yeah, out of books.
Remember that Turkish Cultural Center linked by local Turks to Gulen? Conker says he was forced to pay part of his paycheck to a company called Highway Education, a business at the same Dewey Avenue address as the Turkish Cultural Center in Rochester.
If I don't pay, they can send me tomorrow to my country, and I cannot ask for my rights. It's like enslavement.
Really, it's a whole consortium of interrelated companies engaging in massive self-dealing and fraud.
Amsterdam says a 4th part of the network is connected companies, where Gulen schools take your tax dollars and funnel them to Gulen-connected businesses.
Real estate companies connected to other Gulen interests. In New York State, it's generally Terra.
Terra, the Terra Foundation for Science and Engineering, is headquartered at a school on Amsterdam's Gulen list in Syracuse. Last year, Terra bought this school building in Greece and now rents it to Rochester Academy.
Okay, Terra is a vendor, but we have many other vendors. You go and do shopping with many other vendors. and it's just one of them.
But Mahmoud Ghedamenli isn't just chairman of the board of the Rochester Academy. TERA's 2011 federal tax forms list Ghedamenli as TERA's secretary.
We all have our personal lives, we all have our personal connections, but the issue for me is that, are we doing everything to educate our students?
But New York isn't alone. Gulen-linked schools in Texas, Ohio, Illinois, and Indiana have all been investigated for similar practices, and more probes are in the works. The U.S. Department of Education's Office of the Inspector General confirms to News 10 NBC the OIG is conducting investigative work in this area, but would not provide any more details. Ghedamenli says the Rochester Academy just got its real verdict when the state renewed its charter and gave it license to teach more kids.
If we approve by New York State for a K-6 expansion, along with a new 5-year renewal term, what is the message given to us? We trust you.
On top of the investigative work by the Department of Education, New York and the rest of the country could be about to learn a lot more about the Gulen networks nationwide. The lawyers of Amsterdam and Partners are planning to publish their findings about the Gulen movement, its businesses, and its charter schools in a book this summer.